All right, I got a fun milestone to share with you all today. Now, it might not be as exciting as people unlocking Ghost Rider, taking advantage of the supernatural tag. I'm far away from that, as probably many of you guys are too. But what I want to talk about today, hopefully this will be helpful. I finally completed all the cosmic conflict missions, and some people are like, wow, that's pretty lame. But for me, it's kind of a big deal, because one of my biggest beginner tips is master, complete, 3-star all of these missions, because one of the biggest things in the game is obviously gearing up your characters, and you have to complete these missions. So I've already showed you what I use to complete the hero missions, basically defenders. I completed all the Nexus missions that we have accessible at this point with the defenders, but now it comes to the cosmic conflicts, and unfortunately you cannot transfer your defenders over to this area. And what I'm going to show you today are what I use to complete the cosmic missions, the top 10 cosmic characters to be farming as a beginner player. And I have to flex a little bit, because really up until about this battle right here, I didn't have MINN-ERVA, but just the other day I unlocked MINN-ERVA, and she is a fantastic character. I made an Ultron guide how to prepare in advance to start working to get Ultron, one of the best characters in the game at the time being, and MINN-ERVA is like the thing that everyone brags of being the character you have to be using. She is really fantastic, and the rule is that I hear everywhere is once you get MINN-ERVA, hit the ground running. And it took me about, I restarted playing the game late June, early July, and I just unlocked her the other day. She is a very elusive character to get, because you only can really farm her in the premium orbs, and I can't get materials to open up these orbs. So really, premium orbs is the only way to go. So free to play, if you're playing this game free to play at your leisure, it's going to take some time. Some people will get it sooner, some people will get it later. For me, it took about 3 or 4 months to finally get MINN-ERVA unlocked and just gear her up right away. Luckily at 2 stars, you can get her to gear 12 without having to get her to 7 stars. So let me show you real quick what I use to complete the cosmic missions, because it's going to be kind of helpful for you to gauge what power level you need to be hitting. So let me go show you what I've been using right here. So this is approximately the power I got at 107,000 power, and these are the characters I use to finish the rest of them. Before I had MINN-ERVA, I was using YONOU, so you can kind of adjust for that. But once you get MINN-ERVA, man, those cosmic missions are so much easier, because she steals health from the enemy team, redistributes it to her team, has a lot of other healing capabilities. And luckily I unlocked THANOS a month or 2 ago, and he feeds so much energy to MINN-ERVA, so she can constantly keep healing the team. So that's why you kind of want THANOS close to MINN-ERVA, because when they're close to each other, THANOS, even though I don't have the ability upgraded, on a death of an enemy, he has a chance to generate ability energy for self and other adjacent cosmic allies. And luckily, because MINN-ERVA is a cosmic ally, he generates energy over to her. So that's the team I was using. But let me give you the top 10 cosmic characters you should be farming. And I kind of already given advice on this, because arguably the first thing you should be doing is defenders, but the other argument is that you should be working on the guardians. Whatever the case may be, guardians of the galaxy has to be the first or second thing you work towards in the game. I think it should be the second thing you work towards in the game, but going first for guardians is still not a bad idea, because it leads you to getting Star-Lord. And luckily with Star-Lord, you can use guardians or you can use Ravagers, so you have a lot of opportunities. But of course, some characters aren't worth it, and some characters are harder to farm. So let's go over the top 10 characters to farm. And the first one I want to talk about, RACCOON. Arguably one of the best free-to-play characters in the game as well, and I'm still working to get him to 5 stars. I will be using for the Guardians of the Galaxy for the Star-Lord event, and this guy puts out damage output. This is an absolute no-brainer. Top 10 free-to-play characters, top 10 cosmic characters to use. And he's also got the trick-or-treat tag, which is only a very temporary thing for Blitz right now, but his damage output is crazy. He has a splash damage attack on his basic, so it hits the target enemy and those around him. Then he's got a massive primary attack that calls Groot to assist, which will get Groot to taunt as well, and it can call another character to assist. This ability is fan-freaking-tastic, especially because you're going to want Groot for Rocket Raccoon. When he does this massive AoE damage, it does huge amount of damage, and he gets to gain counter for 2 turns, and he has a chance to just increase damage all across the board and give offensive to the whole team. This guy is a pure damage output character, and I'm glad I got him at 4 red stars. I wish I had more red stars than him, but having it at 4 red stars, he is what mows down the opposing team. And this character is also what I'm going to be using to do Fear of the Darkness to unlock Star-Lord. So there's so many layers to all this. Rocket Raccoon is just a no-brainer choice, people. Gear this character up. I'm hoping to get him to gear 12 eventually, so I could do the Fear of the of Darkness, so this is a character that your energy will not, and your gear will not go to waste. Groot, another fantastic character, lots of healing, and because he's Guardian, he's also going to be used for the Star-Lord mission. I'm only really recommending things that are going to be useful beyond just the cosmic missions, because yes, the cosmic missions is an important beginner milestone, but you kind of want to invest in characters that'll get you a lot more bang for your buck down the road. He's going to be a tank, he's going to be taunting, as I showed you with Rocket Raccoon. He gets Death Proof, he applies Death Proof and a defense up to other allies, and luckily in this game, defense up is a very significant buff, really reducing the amount of damage coming onto your team. Lots of healing regeneration, and eventually when you pair that up with MINN-ERVA, lots of healing on the team, and he gets to apply immunity to the lowest held Guardian ally for 2 turns, which basically prevents negative status effects from being applied. And he also cleanses, so healing, cleanses, taunts, and I maxed out this ability all the way at the bottom, which this is going to be helpful for Fear the Darkness, because anytime Groot is attacked, he always applies slow to the attacker for 1 turn, and he grants a bunch of bonuses when he is defeated. So it's a very helpful, and when you think of Fear the Darkness, you really want a character that's going to be soaking up damage, and this ability right here is kind of helpful because when you pair it with Rocket Raccoon, which is mandatory, basically, he's going to be taunting and applying speed down or slow as much as possible. Another fantastic character. You can't go wrong with Groot. Skipping MINN-ERVA for a second because she's a bit elusive to farm. I'm actually just going to go through the rest of the Guardians. I mean, at this point, I think it's just kind of obvious that the Guardians are probably the cosmic team you want to build together. Whether or not you have Thanos and MINN-ERVA, kind of a different story, but obviously if you go after the Guardians, you're going to get Star-Lord, and you're going to be able to knock out the cosmic missions, unlock all these events or these missions, and get the gear you need. Really with Gamora, her biggest thing is she's a damage dealing character, and she gets a lot of opportunities to fill her speed bar by 100%. At tier 9, no red stars, I haven't really noticed too much of a difference she's making for my team. I felt like for the cosmic mission, she was just kind of there because she was my cosmic character, but once in a while it was nice. She was able to attack a character and get 100% speed bar. When she kills with this ability, she can fill her speed bar to 100%. When she kills with this ability, she feeds her speed bar to 100%. So I'm thinking maybe if I upgrade this character more and her abilities more, I'll probably see more of a use out of her. But for now, she was just an okay character. I have not been too impressed with her so far. But really, it's just the damage that keeps her. And I'm a little bit bummed. There's really no Star-Lord synergy kind of in her kit herself. You'd think there'd be a bit more Star-Lord synergy because of their history together, but unfortunately not the case here. Drax. Now, Drax is a solid character. Unfortunately, all these characters I've shown, by the way, are pretty accessibly farmed. Although you can get Drax from the arena store, which I'm currently farming. I farmed Drax right after I got my Daredevil, so that's probably the path you want to be going to as well. Only going back a little bit, Gamora, she's found in the Blitz supplies. MINN-ERVA Premium Orb, we'll talk about her in a second. Groot, he's on a hard node battle, which I have not done my dailies today, so might as well get some shards. There we go, 8 pulls right there. Luckily, I have him at 5 stars, so he's ready to go for the Star-Lord event. And Rocket Raccoon, he's probably going to be the first character you want to farm out of the Alliance raid shipments, but as you know, with the Alliance raid shipments, it's a bit random, so you might not always see those shards pop up. But with Drax, he's going to be a taunting character, and I think this is the character you do want to shoot for the cosmic event as well, for the Star-Lord event, because he has lots of opportunity to gain taunt, counter, defense up, and he's basically a pre-taunting character. And spawn, he gains a taunt, and he gets his increase in drain as well, so he has high survivability and durability. Now, one character I have not gotten, which I think may have been a bit more helpful than Gamora, I'm not quite sure, is going to be Mantis. Now, the thing with Mantis is that she's also found inside of the Blitz supplies, the same exact spot where you can find yourself Gamora. I'm just going to finish up Gamora because she's almost at 5 stars, but I'm thinking Mantis may be the better choice. Having as many healers as possible seems to be great because Rocket Raccoon really has the damage down pat for himself, and I'm guessing Gamora will still be fine for that damage output. But the good thing about Mantis, a lot of healing capabilities. I love healing characters because those help me out so much in things like the raids where you need high survivability. She's got stun capabilities, and she also has synergy with Drax, which is kind of helpful because Drax is a fantastic character to use for the Guardian team. A lot of healing capabilities, so that means, because the thing with these missions, you want that one big damage there, but you also want some survivability. That's where Groot and Mantis, and if you have I guess MINN-ERVA, makes it even easier. She has a lot of extra abilities when it comes to the raids. Look, in raid, she gets the transfer 2 negative status effects, clear 2 positive status effects, so she seems a bit more helpful in my opinion than Gamora, and she has a lot more helpful Guardian synergy in my opinion. Next up, Yondu. We talked about top 10 villain characters a while ago, and I put Yondu in here. This is a character that was fantastic at the beginning of the game, and over time his viability has kind of been chipped away. Who knows, maybe Ravagers get a rework sometime down the road. I still think he is worthy of getting because he helps you with the villain missions. If you can't get the Sinister Six together, he also can be used for the Star-Lord event, just like the Guardians, and he's also helpful for the Cosmic missions. I don't know how hard I'm going to go on this character because he's not the best in the game, but it's nice. He clears positive status effects with his basic ability. He has a summon mechanic, which is helpful, and sometimes he can call in a healer, and this is one of my favorite abilities because I just love the sound animation you get with it. Kind of exciting. Might as well upgrade that. I got a lot of blue abilities here, and it's undodgeable piercing damage, so it's pretty good damage as well. And I do like this a lot because he can kind of steal positive status effects and copy it to himself. So Yondu's an okay cosmic character, and he's not incredibly difficult to farm, and he's also helpful for the Star-Lord event as well. So if the other characters don't seem too appealing, Yondu can also be helpful because he also helps out with the many other things as well. But I think the other Guardians are going to be a bit more long-term viable than Yondu, in my opinion. Now so that puts us at 6 cosmic characters, and honestly, that's more than enough for taking on the cosmic missions. I think I give you more than enough opportunities to kind of decide what you want to do, and those are kind of spoon-fed characters because they're needed for so much. The other 4 are going to be kind of they're going to be helpful too for other things, but I think they're a lot harder to farm and put together, mainly the KREE. Now I would talk about MINN-ERVA. I think it's kind of cheating to put her on this list, but secretly she's probably the best cosmic character you can get if you can get her as early as possible. We'll just talk about the KREE for a moment because the other KREE members are going to be important for tackling Nick Fury. And my main problem with all these guys, you have so many opportunities for all these KREE. I mean, but you need KREE minions to do the shield mission. So if you're trying to find something that's going to be long-term viable, you definitely want to farm the minions, which include KREE CYBORG, KREE Reaper, KREE Royal Guard, KREE Oracle, and yes, KREE Noble. I almost forgot about her. Those also could be used as well for the missions, but I don't think you should be farming KREE too early because I think Defenders and Guardians are the most logical thing to do when you're starting off. But if you're farming the KREE minions, those are also going to be very helpful to knocking out the mission for getting Nick Fury, which is, again, a fantastic character, makes a great shield team, and he's very helpful for the Fear the Darkness mission. So there's a lot of layers to it. KREE, probably not something you're going to be doing super early, but in case you don't want to go after the Guardians, like I pointed out earlier, this is probably the other opportunity to go to. But of course, there's many other fantastic cosmic characters out there. I already pointed out MINN-ERVA, which I think is a no-brainer, but she's just a bit hard to farm, but I just had to flex and explain again why she's awesome. THANOS has been extremely helpful, especially when I pair her up with MINN-ERVA. Haven't found much use out of Nebula, and I just unlocked Captain Marvel recently, so you do have a lot of cosmic opportunities, but I wanted to point out the ones that are free to play and the ones that help me knock out the cosmic missions, because the more missions you can knock out, the better you are. And I think finally I'm officially done with the cosmic missions, so that's great. The Nexus missions, and I also finished the villain missions thanks to the Sinister Six, and then I got the hero missions complete. So the next task I am going to be tackling, hopefully for another video, which I think is kind of the last missions you got to focus on, is Mystic Forces. And definitely we still have a long way to go because my Mystic crew is not the best in the world for the time being. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. Again, we mainly do beginner videos on this channel, and I hope a lot of you guys find these videos helpful for your journey in Marvel Strike Force. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And I'll talk to all of you lovely people in the next video. Peace out, everyone.
Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, 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 down. Party Richter, Party Richter. Son of a bitch. Party Richter, Party Richter. Down, down, down.